Hey guys, welcome to MNMM IELTS. Today's video is about cue cards. So when you sit for your speaking exam, you have someone right there in front of you. It is very important that you have practiced your speaking. A lot of practice goes behind a success because you have to be very confident. You shouldn't be nervous. You shouldn't be sweating when you're answering. And the only way you can minimize that, or the only way you can make no mistakes, is when you've done a lot of practice. There's a lot of efforts that has gone behind practicing your speaking section. So today I want to share some key points, I would say, as to how should you tackle that cue card section. When you get that cue card which has question written on it, it has those bullet points written on it that you have to cover in your speaking, then you are given this 1 minute, approximately 1 minute preparation time. Now that's not a lot of preparation time. If you haven't done a lot of practice, what happens is you cannot recollect a lot of ideas in that short span that you've got to prepare. So if you've prepared a lot of questions, a lot of exam questions, what would happen is the moment you get that cue card, you have your paper, you have your pen, you know what notes you have to take and how you have to start your answer, continue your answer, and end your answer with utmost confidence and clarity. So let us do one question together, and so that I can share some points that you should be careful of. So this is that question that I have for you, which has been repeated a lot of times for several students, and it is a good question, I feel. So first things first, let us understand the question and the bullet points. The first thing they've asked is describe a country where you would like to settle. So that is, you have to take a country's name. All right, so country. Let me just write it down for all of you. Now, next is, which city would you like to work and settle? Now you have already given them the country's name. Now you have to explain them about a city you have in mind of that country where you would like to settle. So city is very important here and settle is very important here. You have to understand those keywords, because if you don't answer the question that has been asked, no matter how good your speaking is, you will not get your desired band, because you haven't answered what you should be answering, and you are like beating around the bush, which is not recommended. Next is, what area would you choose for work? Now, it is very important to understand the meaning of this question. What area doesn't mean which suburb or which place you want to go and work. What area means what field, what line of work, like for example, hospitality, medicine. That is what they are asking here. What area would you choose for work? So area over here is your area of interest, your field. Understanding the question is very important, especially right now. You might think, yes, that is very normal. Why are you explaining us what is area of work? In exam, because you are stressed, you might think area means suburb, and this has happened. So you have to make sure you understand the question properly, and for that you have to read it properly. Now, next is, where when do you plan to go there? So this is time. They want to know a time. Time as in maybe a month, maybe a date you have in mind, something associated with when. Last is, why do you choose that place? You have to give them a reason. Why means you have to give a reason. You have to explain a little bit in brief as to what made you feel, what made you take that decision. So when you read these questions and you understand what has been asked, you have to now start answering, and make sure your answer is a little descriptive, not in detail, but a little descriptive, and don't just answer to the point. Like for example, if you want to say country, don't just say that, let's say Australia. Don't just say Australia. Give them a little description why Australia. As to, there has to be something after the answer which supports your answer. So let us see. After this is done, what I would recommend is pause the video, write down the dot points that you would write in your preparation time as to what can you cover, and then play the video, because I have written some dot points as well, and let's see how close are we in terms of our ideas. So there are a few dot points that I have written. Let us read them all one by one. So first, I know I have to take country's name, which is the first thing, my question. Then city. I have given a city's name, Adelaide. not very busy, clean and green city, because I want to tell them why Adelaide. Just I will not just tell them the name of the city, because the question is which city would you like to work and settle. So if you say Adelaide, that is not a good answer. You will not get a very good band. You have to give them a little bit of description after Adelaide. I would like to settle in a city called Adelaide, which is in the south part of Australia, because it is not a very busy place, and it is extremely clean and green, and this is an environment that I prefer to dwell. Something like that. You have to give them a brief description after every answer. Never give them to the point answer, or never answer in just one word or two words and then just stop speaking, and you're just looking at the examiner with a question mark on your face. That is not a good sign. You should give them more, little more answer. Next is, what area would you choose for work? Now, I have written a bullet points. Obviously, when you're writing bullet points, you can't write down the answer in detail because you don't have that kind of time. Over there, you just need to write down the bullet points that you would like to cover. And also make sure that when you're done with preparation part, look at the cue card when you're speaking. A lot of students, what they do is they will use the cue card for preparation, and then when they start speaking, they never look at the cue card. Then what is the point of taking those notes, right? Because there's a reason they have given you some time to prepare. There's a reason they've given you material to note down stuff. There is always a reason behind what's happening. So make the most out of it. Don't think if I look at the cue card, they will think that I can't remember and they will give me less marks. No, they have given you the pen and paper. Use it. Look at it and then describe. Look at it and then describe. And describe in the correct order. Don't describe the last point first and then come back to the first one. Go in the correct order. All right. So the next one is finance, banking. So you can say, I would prefer working in finance industry, especially in the big four banks of Australia, because that has always been my dream. See how I have given the answer, and I have given a little bit, like a little brief description as to why is this my answer, right? Next, when do you plan to go there? I have plans that I will go in July 2024, because that is the time when Australia accepts international student and I can start my masters from July. Again, you have given them the answer, you have given them which month, which year, and you have also given them a brief description as to why July 2024, not just July 2024. The next is, why did you choose that place? This is the last point for us now. Now, why did you choose? Why itself is an indication that you have to give a reason. Okay, now it can be one reason, it can be multiple reasons. Based on the question, if you cannot understand if it is one reason or multiple reasons, then you can give any number of reasons you want. Why did you choose that place? This is not clear that there is only one reason or multiple, so I have given a few reasons. So in my answer, I've written ideal place to live, easy accommodation, small city with no traffic, getting a job is easy, and lifestyle is affordable. So I've given them a few reasons. So what I can always do is, when I'm explaining them, the reason I have chosen this place to live is because I have a few friends and relatives who have been living there for a long time, and I have heard from them that it's a place where you can find accommodation for a very low price and the lifestyle is affordable. There is another reason that I have chosen this place is because you can get work easily, and traveling to work is not difficult because public transport is again very cheap. So there are some reasons you have given them. There's one reason. If you feel that, okay, this is too many reasons, cut it short. Give them one reason, give them two reasons. That's more than enough. If you want, you can give them more reasons. Like, while I've also heard that if you wish to drive to workplace, there is no traffic whatsoever, and you can travel to any part of the state in less than 10 minutes or in less than 20 minutes. So you have to give them some concrete reason as to what made you take that decision. So I always recommend my students, I would say, that please make sure that you practice a lot of cue cards, because when you practice a lot of questions, what happens is you become confident day by day. Practice questions so that you can be very confident when you talk in front of someone. Record what you're speaking, listen to your recording. When you listen to your recording, ask yourself questions like, am I clear? Am I confident? Am I fluent? Is there anything wrong in my speaking? Is there any word I'm using repeatedly? If yes, write it down. Look at the synonyms on internet for that word and make sure you replace that word with different words and do not use the same word again and again, right? And it is absolutely fine to have a little bit of smile on your face if you're talking about something positive. And if you don't feel like smiling, that's fine. It is okay to use your hand movements while talking. It is absolutely authentic and natural. And if you are someone who's comfortable doing that, it is okay to do it, because over there, we are not going to speak memorized answers, I would say. We are there to share our experiences, share our thoughts, express how well we know this language, our command over this language, and that requires authenticity. And that will only come if you're natural and you're not speaking memorized answers or you're not using any templates, right? Also, try and speak from your real life experiences. If you've heard something related to that topic, if you've ever seen something related to that topic, maybe you might have not experienced, but somebody you know might have experienced. Talk from that. It just makes your answer in a very natural, it just makes your answer very natural. You will struggle maybe a little lesser. The challenge will be a little lesser compared to a topic where you have no idea of what to speak. So it is okay to speak from your real life experiences, and that's what I prefer doing, and I recommend my students doing that. But with that, I'll take your leave. I'll wish you all the best for your IELTS preparation. If there's anything that you're struggling with, feel free to put that in the comment section below, and we are more than happy to make videos on those topics so that we can help you in the best possible way. Bye for now.